Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Matthew Lumsden, part of the team at Connected Energy. Our focus is on energy storage using second life electric vehicle batteries. Oh, sorry. Okay. So, we've spent the last 3 years or so developing a modular, fairly straightforward system that uses second life batteries to provide low-cost modular energy storage. As far as we know, we're the only people in the world who've got a system that's commercially available at the moment, and we've got a few systems in operation now. Why do we use second life electric vehicle batteries? Because as the market for EVs grows, these gradually the batteries in the vehicles gradually become depleted, but there's still useful capacity in them. So we either use that capacity in some way, or that just gets wasted. That value gets wasted when the batteries ultimately become recycled. Our role in this process is effectively we've got a design team, software engineers, electrical integration engineers, etc. So we've designed the technology, we designed the control systems that enable enable the batteries to be communicated with and operated as one single unit. So we can communicate with different types of batteries, irrespective of the chemistry or the manufacturer they've come from, and we can also operate them irrespective of their state of health. So we can deal with a mix of batteries that have various different levels of degradation. So what this means is it's completely transferable, if you like. We can work with a range of OEMs and take their batteries. And the key word here, I guess, from my point of view, is feedstock. So whilst we're providing services at the moment in relation to the traditional energy storage model, we see as the volume of batteries builds up, we look at batteries as feedstock. So think AD, think of using what could ultimately be a waste product to create more value. So to pick up on the feedstock, if I refer to some Bloomberg graphs here, so the left-hand graph projects that by about 2030, the global market, excluding the EV market, will be about 300 gigawatt hours a year for the energy storage market. If we then look at the projections for EV batteries and their projections for the second life availability of batteries, whether it's 41 gigawatt hours or it's 342 gigawatt hours, it's a substantial volume. And if we take the middle figure, then what they're really saying is that the volume of EV batteries that will be available will pretty much provide 50% of the global market for storage. Now, I take the point of the people that spoke earlier. There are different types of storage, there are different usage for storage that require different kind of technologies. But ultimately, there's potentially an enormous market for an enormous range of applications for second life batteries. So this is a big number, but it's a bigger number if you think of this in terms of if you were sitting in the seat of an electric vehicle OEM. So this is the scale of the liability that they have to deal with, and it's the scale of ultimately a waste value that they need somebody to capitalize upon. So what we're developing is a business that can use these batteries, trying to scale up at the moment so that we can gradually develop the technology. Sorry, I've just realized this clock's counting backwards. So we can scale up the technology and be prepared for this volume of batteries. So what have we got? We've got a system that we can talk to EV batteries. They effectively think they're in a vehicle. We can control them using the battery management systems, the safety systems that the OEMs have spent tens of millions of pounds developing. So we've got an ultra-safe system. We've got our control systems and their control systems in place. We've got our own microgrid system, which enables us to integrate that in with commercial sites, so we can integrate with PV, we can integrate with micro wind, EV chargers, etc. And ultimately, it's completely scalable. So we can track that remotely. We can optimize the system. So as we see degradation, we can pull batteries out and replace them. We can change the way the system operates. And ultimately, there's things you can do with second life batteries, or you may choose to do with second life batteries because they're low cost. So if you think that replacing them is low cost, then you might choose to use them differently. You might choose to use them harder to capitalize on a frequency response market when it's profitable, replace the battery sooner, and then use them for a different application when the market's right for that. So it's a very flexible system. We've got systems operating in a number of different countries. We've had systems operating for about 3 or 4 years now. The top right-hand corner is our own microgrid demonstrator site. And we've got systems here running on VPPs, peak shaving, providing frequency response, and optimizing solar. So finally, what we're interested in at the moment, we've just done a raise with Macquarie and NG. So we're scaling up our, if you like, our route to market. We've got a system here which is really designed to gain traction. So we're working with really mature technology providers. We've got a contract in place with Renault. We're also now doing R&D with JLR and various other parties. So what we're interested in is not really money. We're interested in working with organizations who can give us some traction to build the volume in the market to capitalize on the availability of batteries. Thank you.